I have to ask, like the motion, was that the first time you've done motion capture?
Yes.
And
First
what
time
was
I've done
that
motion
like?
capture. It was wild. I mean, it took a lot of prep work, a lot of training. One thing that's or not training, like a lot of setup and stuff. A couple things that were really interesting is that I never realized that you have to have like a ready stance, which is not standing straight up generally. There's like a stance in which people stand in as they're talking or doing motions. And every single animation has to start from that stance and end at that stance. So basically
Oh,
for like 4 hours, I was like kind of like on the balls of my feet a little bit, like, like doing these multiple takes. And I mean, there's hundreds of lines for the character because of course it's reactive to class selection, all sorts of stuff.
yeah.
And it was wild. It was a very cool experience. I can also talk about this, which was super cool. So during my session, Neil Newbaum, who plays Asterion, was there, and he is like a super professional, awesome actor. He's done all sorts of things. He leads voice acting. He just did Deliver Us Mars.
Mm.
If you know that, he was the dad in Deliver Us Mars and ran the whole thing. And he was constantly like giving me tips and being like, no, say it like this and do it like this. And it was incredibly helpful, and I was very appreciative of him for that. He's a very cool guy.
Safe to say, like an eye-opening experience then into that field.
Oh, completely. Like
Yeah.
the amount of people that were like technically knowing exactly what they were doing and exactly what they were looking for, and their ability to properly express like what they want and what I need to do to get to that point and things of that nature. It was very eye-opening. Like I didn't quite realize that the industry was that refined, I guess to say, like that good at what it does. Everyone knew exactly what they were doing the entire time. And there was probably 15, 20 people like all doing their individual thing, from, like multiple camera checks to making sure all the things stayed on properly to, they were constantly talking back and forth and relaying like, okay, do you have these sensors on? Okay, cool. How's this look? How's this look? How's this look? Go. And, it was very cool. Very cool. So it was a great experience.
Did you get to ad lib anything, or did you stick to the lines?
Well, they basically gave me the lines, which were on a big screen in front of me. And then they essentially gave me like some notes here and there, but it was pretty much freedom to however I wanted to do it. The timing, and they very much were like, make this character yours, like do what you want. They of course had an idea about how they wanted it to sound and look.
Sure.
In some scenes they wanted to look specific ways, and I did exactly what they said. But other times they were just like, how would he say that? And I'd be like, oh, okay. And they're like,
cool.
Okay, go. Yeah. It was very cool.
You got to be the character rather than play the character, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm already seeing lots of questions. I'm going to purposefully not be answering too many things about the content or the lines.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it's all story.
Yeah, there's a lot of like I said, there's hundreds of lines with this character. It's not.
Yeah. How long was the process for you? Like what? How long were you in the booth?
4 hours a day. Yeah,
Okay.
like it was a lot. So there's a lot of things that he can do and different situations that lead to different outcomes and things like that. So I am looking forward to murdering myself and seeing what that will take place. So there's lots to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just, that's what I'm most excited for. I'm not even, I think me and Zeke will both just be like, all right, that's enough out of you. And then we're going to go find the nearest.
There's a whole thing that unlocks. I mean, it's going to be, they did such a good job. And the woman you saw talking, the lead writer in the
that's the lead writer. Okay.
Yes, she is one of the lead writers, and she is so good at what she does. Like it was like just reading. There were definitely times during the take, because some of them, a big portion of it, I saved to cold read, to get like a better, more natural reaction out of it.
Right.
And there were lines that I had to retake multiple times because I would start laughing while reading them. So like she's top of her craft for sure.
Awesome. Did they come to you?
Very excited for the rest of the game.
Did they come to you with that character idea, or was that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So I was talking to them before COVID. Funny enough, they reached out about some stuff, and then years and years later, I reached back out and it was like, hey, so is this happening? And they were like, hey, we'll get back to you. It's kind of busy right now. This was a few months ago. And finally I just messaged Sven out of the blue one day, and I was like, hey, if you guys still want anything, I'm here to help. And he replied back pretty much like, oh, I know who you can play.
Nice.
So
nice.
Yeah, it was, and that began the whole process.
Cool.
Also, special shout out to Kieran Kelly, who was like the guy that was helping me out the whole time. Dude is amazing. I'm just gonna say he was the guy that said Sven is like the pinnacle.
And what's his role?
Experience. He's one of the community coordinators, managers.
Oh, okay.
He does. He's a man of many hats, but he was a guy that helped me when I was out there, and he was just top notch, phenomenal. Like, yeah, very, very cool guy. Very, very cool guy.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah,
And that is it from me.
the link for that will be up soon. I think Co has to. I don't know if y'all worked that out. I think Co's tweeting it or Baldur's Gate tweeting it or something for that video.
Whatever they tell me to do.
Yeah, it'll get
absolutely.
posted sometime later today. I can't put it up anywhere except for this VOD that we're currently recording, so it's not up to me. I was incredibly nervous when they're like, "All right, so we're gonna give you this video. You can't say anything. If you play it, we're gonna be very upset with you. Do not fuck this up." And so I sat here like, "All right, well, how can I make?" I had to do a bunch of shit. I'm glad it went off without a hitch. Very, very proud of that. Very happy with that.